Good morning, good morning. Bear with me this morning. I have a new setup and I'm in love with the way it looks. Welcome to Two Girls Treasure. I'm your proprietor. I'm Diane Pruitt and we're here in Florence, South Carolina. We're at the Petey State Farmers Market. So if you're traveling, we're right off I-95. Just stop on by and come in and give a peek around. Take your time. There's a lot to see here. We specialize in vintage home furnishings and decor products. We have wind chimes all the way from Bali because those are the most amazing wind chimes I have found to bring to you. We also feature Wreath Unk Junk paint products as well as Iron Orchid Designs products. We feature Salt Wash as well, which plays so well with both of the Wreath Unk Junk paint and Iron Orchid Designs. And if you were with me on Saturday, there's our train right on cue. But if you were here on Saturday, you watched me complete this massive workstation. Now, we do a lot of work here, so I always need big space for my stamps, my molds, my transfers, my paint brushes, my inks, my brayers, my paint display, my this, that, and 10 of the others. But I love the way this turned out. This is fresh sage and grassland. These are the two Wreath Unk Junk paint products that I used. Don't mind the grassland lid. This is what happens when you pop the lid a little too hard. It'll break, so be careful when you do that. Fresh sage and grassland for the win on this cabinet. It feels so springtime and it feels so good to look at. Do you ever paint something and you have that? Well, we have that in this cabinet. So I love the way it looks, but I feel like we could do just a little bit more. Alice, good morning. I'm so glad to see you here. Welcome. Welcome to Two Girls Treasure. Let's take a look. I'm going to bop back and forth between the cameras so that I'm going to do both because you know I can't talk to you on just one camera. But this is the brand new Iron Orchid Designs La Campagna stamp set. Now I know it's been a long time, a whole week since I've stamped anything. We were working on the bungalow cabinet. That's almost finished, not quite. But I love this. Look at the roses, the strawberries, the leaves, the flowers, the cow, and oh, look at the rooster. And you can't have a rooster without having a hen and some baby chicks and more flowers and another cow and a sheep. And I love what this set will look like with this cabinet. Now, how do I know? I don't. It's just a crazy thought process. Maybe a little bit of French country on these soft, subtle colors together will just make this come to life. It looks amazing and it's huge. And if I'm wrong, we can paint back over it. But if I'm right, this stamp set is going to make this huge cabinet amazing. Are you ready to get started? We're a few minutes in, let's do it. I'm going to go solo on the work camera and bear with me because I have a new setup today. I went to a different camera mount and I might not have it set well. Now the first thing we're gonna do is rip these bad boys all the way open. I'm gonna set them down on the counter, and this is not something that you see me do frequently, but I do have a fine grit sanding block, and I'm going to go ahead and season my stamps. This just cuts the top edge off your relief so that when you get ready to stamp, your inks or your paints, whatever you're utilizing, will hold on a little bit better. Now, once you gently sand, take something and wipe them clean. Just dash the grit off of them a little bit so that when you get ready to stamp and impress, your images are clean. Save that, we're gonna need it. All right, I have been in my mind composing what I want this to look like, and I don't want to turn my back to you, but I want to talk to you as well. There we are. So if you're watching on YouTube or Facebook, thank you so much for being here. I'm going to turn you around like this so that I'm in both frames. If you want to shop the collection of the products that we're using and all of the March Coffee and Create products, then hop on over to our website, twogirlstreasure.com. Look for the live shopping tab. When you click it, you'll see a banner that says interactive mode. Click that and you will be able to shop all the products that we have for you for March. And your coupon code this month is spring, because we are celebrating the start of spring. I want to put my glasses on because you see that mess behind me? All of that goes on and in this cabinet. That's horrific. Let me move you back. I'm so sorry. That's ugly. Let's get started here. We'll just go back to solo. It'll be okay. Once these are seasoned, I'm going to take my thin mount and I will use it for the inks that I don't have on a pad. And I also have my ink pads already inked up, ready to go. And I have every color of ink that I have available from Iron Orchid Designs. I also have some of the first generation inks, and we're just gonna go to town, have some fun, and create something really super cute on this cabinet. Now, I know everybody would probably go with the rooster right here, right? I thought about that, but on second thought, I was like, well, maybe, just maybe, the flowers are the thing for me, because I do love my florals. Now, this little piece right here is a beautiful black basket of flowers. I thought this would look amazing right in the middle. It's not very big, but we can celebrate with flowers around it because this comes with some beautiful flowers. I don't know, y'all. Flowers or the rooster? I guess if I were truly doing a French country theme on this bad boy would be right there dead center, wouldn't he? He doesn't have to be all the way to the top. We can put him right here. We can. Let's put him. Any input before I stamp away? Make sure you take the opportunity, if you don't mind, to share our video. And let's see how I can get there. Facebook has changed so much, it's absolutely complicated. But I've got it open. There. So if you have any questions or comments, I have my phone set up so I can see you. Sharon, good morning. I'm glad you're here. So my rooster, I'm thinking I like a little, You know I can't just do one color. So I like a little bit of tone over tone here. Let's start though with our, I could do black, I could do China Blue, or I could do Ocean's Deep. Let's see, on this cabinet with these colors, let's do China Blue. I think that would look the best. So I'm going to get out my pre-inked pad, and I'm just going to tamp over the top of my rooster. Don't mash down when you're doing your ink pad over your stamp, and I'll tell you why. You'll get ink in places you do not intend for it to be. So gently, you can cover over it. You can go over it multiple times so you can get a richer finish. But if you squish it down in there, you'll have to wipe it clean and start all over again. And I hate starting all over again. So we're not going to do that today. We're going to be really careful. I'm going to be really careful. I love that, but you know what? Let's add just a little bit of tone by adding a second shade of blue. I'm just going to tip his feathers in a richer shade. That way we've got a tone on tone. It's all blue. One is Ocean's Deep. The other is China Blue. You can do this with any of your colors. Probably put your lighter color down first if you're going to do it light and dark. This ink is dry, so I don't fear for using, I fear a little bit, but I don't fear for using my thin mount. I didn't wipe that ink off before it dried real well, so I'll have to do some cleaning work with that. I've got a little bit of overhang with the blue that I don't want on my piece, so I'm just going to wipe that off. And then I'll move my little sunshine. That's from my sweet girl. She made that for me. And let's put the rooster on. Once you place him, anchor him with one hand and impress with the other. Give it a strong hold. You don't want it to wiggle. We don't want this rooster to wiggle on here. He'll make an ugly scene if you let him wiggle. Here we go. A little bit of French country for you this morning. Here we go. And he's so cute, but he's all alone. That's kind of simple right there. And it's not, there's not a lot of to do about him. Faye, good morning, honey. Thanks for being here. I'm glad you had the time today. See, the difference between French country and Darlington country is an ocean, really. That's about it. That's about it, because Faye has roosters and Faye has chickens and Miss Lynette has chickens, and we all just live a nice little country life. Work hard, have fun. Go to church on Sunday. I love it. Now, what do we need with him? Well, we need the mama and the babies. We can't go without them, so let's pull them over and lay them on our thin mount. The lines, the grid lines on your thin mount give you the opportunity to take these tiny little pieces, little chickens, and you line them on the lines on the thin mount. And that way when you go to place it, it's straight. My rooster is leaning just a little bit. We're going to leave him leaning. We're going to leave him leaning. We'll prop him up on his leaning side. We can do that. Now, let's do these again. But I tell you what, I'd like to do the hen and the chicks. I probably ought to stick with my color scheme, though, or else it's just not going to look good. Let's stick with our blue. What do you think? Would you stick with the same color? You can't see what I'm doing? Oh, you can't see me inking? What is it you can't see, Faye? Tell me. Oh, my camera's not. What the world is happening there? All right, let's see. Does that get you in? That's kind of crazy because it's showing on my screen one way and it's showing on the other screen the other way. So I'll tell you what we'll do. Let's do this. The beauty of having two cameras is that we have two cameras. I'm so sorry. Thank you for letting me know. Can you see now? That should do the trick right there. There we go. How's that, Faye? You can see my little rooster. Can you see me inking? I told you I've got a different setup and I did it differently. I went to a different camera mount thinking that it would get me a little bit better visibility. I can't answer the phone right now. All right. So now we'll take our little roosters, our little baby chicks, and our mama hen. We'll put them over here. There we go. Lay them right in there. I think I wiggled just a little bit. Oh, I know I did. Look, I smeared them all up. Little smeary chicks. So we'll wipe that clean. It's not gonna come all the way off. It'll come most of the way off. So we'll do best we can with that. And I tell you what, if I see my prep bottle, I will grab it and we'll spray it with a little bit of prep. There it is. All right. I think prep will help this action. And the paint's dry enough that I shouldn't have to worry about it coming off. I might have to paint back over that little section. That's okay. That happens. So let's do it again. And this time I won't wiggle. All right, let's ink them again. Can you see now? Good, thank you. I know you want to see this because I know you want to do this. All right, and there we go. Just a little bit of ink. And we'll just move her up a little bit, or we'll move her over a little bit, and I'll just repaint that little section because you know what? When you make a mistake, if you can't wipe it clean, leave it alone. You can repaint it later. It doesn't have to be perfect on the first go. Let me see if I can make this. Let me get you in here a little bit more. Can you see where I made the mistake? Yeah, you can see that right there. So now I've got a little ghosting spot because when I put the hen and the chicks on there, I moved, so it slid. Sure did. Didn't want it to, did anyway. But it happens sometimes. And when it does, you just correct it. Not that big a problem. And if that's the only space where you can put your image, then just stop stamping, paint over it, let it dry super, because you don't want to try to restamp over a wet painted spot because it'll mess it up. Unless you're trying to impress in the paint, and that's a whole other thing. We're not doing that today. All right, let's try this again. I could even be a little more careful. Here we go. There's one chick. There's my mama. There's even a baby chick on her back. That's crazy. That's probably the smartest one in the bunch, isn't it? It's okay. I'm not real fond of the way that's stamped out, but we'll work it out later. He needs some embellishment around him. You know what he needs? He needs some laurel from the Wreath Builder. Now, I'm not going to dig that out right now. I'll dig it out later. Thank you. That's my sister. I love her. I love her. All right. I think we could probably put some more babies and a mama on this side as well. We need to balance it. I like things with symmetry. So let's try that. Let's put them in on the other side as well. Now, if I'm in your way, I'm sorry. Got my back to you and everything, don't I? Let me just oot you right on in here so that I'm not in your way at all. Let me make sure my cords aren't pulling. Here we go. Now you're in. Now you're in. We're going to go right here. And let me put just a little more ink on her, because we want a nice juicy finish. Not too much. We're not doing fabric, but not too little, because we don't want it blanked out like the other side. All right. Let me move Big Daddy out of the way. And let's go right here. Now, a normal human being would probably measure and mark this. Me, I'm just gonna wing it, pun intended. Now, you saw me shift that sideways, and I sure didn't mean to. Today's just gonna be my day where I shift things sideways, isn't it? It's all right. If I need to, I can just repaint that section. And I missed her little belly again, but it's okay. I have a fix for this. Do you know what that is? That is my Crackalure. And I love this stamp. I love this stamp dearly because when you want to age something, when you want to really French country it up, you can take your Crackalure stamp, you can take your turmeric, and you can just give it a little bit of crackle here and there, and you can really age. Now, that turmeric's not going to be easy to see. And I am going to, my goodness, I guess the wind is blowing hard today. I'm going to grab tomato if I can find it. Let's look in here. Oh, there it is. So I have my tomato. That's my IOD Decor ink in tomato. And I'm going to, I know you can't see this part of it because of the way I've got the cameras. Let me back you back out again. Well, I'm sorry, y'all. I thought I had a great setup today. But I'm going to put a little bit of ink on here. A little bit of tomato. And I'll take my brayer. The turmeric didn't show up a lot. And it's not like I want a real heavy finish. But I would like to be able to see some crackling. Just like that. There. And a little bit down here. Because your Crackalure gives your paint the feel that it's really old and the paint's chippy. And all you do is ink this up. I think I'm going to richen up. Let's see, that's charcoal. That's not what I'm going for. I want to richen up my tomato. So I'm going to take my black. That's my black IOD Decor ink. Okay, Miss Judy. Oh, I hope you have a great class today. Are you teaching Rethunk Junk Paints? I hope so. Maybe one of these days I can catch one of your classes and one of your lives. I'm looking forward to it, Miss Judy. All right. Richen up that tomato with some black. And I'll tell you about black. Just like this. When you're adding black to another color, when you're adding a dark color to another color, add it in small increments, because once you add too much, you can't take it back. Thank you, Scott Pruitt, for teaching me that. And Becky Bellows with the Crackalure stamp. She has always taught me how to use this stamp well. And you just go in and you put it where you know it's going to look worn and where you need the most coverage. Let's put some crackle under his feet, because we can take our sanding block once the ink dries, and we can soften this and distress it with a sanding block. We can also take our Rethunk Junk glazes. We can take an antique brown or a classic black. We can also take our soft white and we can glaze over the top of this once the ink is dry, and we can make this look spectacular. Ink does not dry quickly. It just does not. So you want to be careful about touching your inks or wiping your inks or inking over something that you just inked, because it will smear and then you'll have a ghosting effect like we do over here. Rethunk Paint 101. How wonderful, Judy. Well, I hope you have a wonderful class. I hope you teach everyone something fabulous, and I hope that they are so inspired that they're addicted to Rethunk Junk the way we are. And that is Miss Judy Strickland, y'all. She is Highlander Crafts and Antiques. Did I get that right, Miss Judy? I hope so. I hope so. All right. I try to make sure I wipe my stamps off right after I use them, because if I don't, I'll forget, and then the ink will dry and my stamp will have ink or paint stuck in it, and then I won't be able to get a really great finish impression. All right, we have a rooster, we have 2 hens and 6 chicks and some Crackalure, and now what? Now what can we do? Because we have this fantastic set, and I really want those roses, y'all. I really want those roses. So I tell you what, let's try that second camera one more time. And Faye, you let me know if that camera is not showing you what we're doing. I'm gonna move this out of the way so you can see that part. And I'm gonna move this all in right here. I'm gonna tip it down. Can you see that real well? It's just not showing anything, is it? What in the wide, wide world is wrong with that camera this morning? I do not know, but it's not working, is it? It shows me it's showing you, but it's not showing you, is it? That's crazy. What has happened to my camera 2? Let me click a button real quick and see if I can make that work better. Let's click it again. Let's put it back in. It is waiting for me. Sorry. I want that camera to work. Let's see if it works now. Ta-da! Faye, can you see that now? Yes, I think we can. I think we can. Let me look on my Facebook page and yes. All right. That's what I'm talking about. I have this amazing space right here. And since I did not put my flowers in yet, I think it's time. I think my rooster and my hens can live right here. And I think, and my baby chicks, my little bitties, we'll move those out of the way. And then we'll take the roses and we'll create our little framework for my workbench, and I like it. That's what I'm talking about. There we go. Shoo! That's a beautiful set of roses right there. Can't see what it is? There you go. Wait till I get some ink on that. What colors are we going to use on this, y'all? What do you think? They're roses, so they could be red. I think I probably better put some green down here too. Let's see. Let's go with the first generation. You can't read the label anymore. I've used this so much and it's leaked, and other inks have leaked on it, but this is called Bottle, and this is nice and green. So I'll tell you what I like to do. Let me show you. I'll tell you and I'll show you. This might be caked up. So a lot of times when I have ink laid down like this and I want to multicolor something, I will take my other color of ink. This is not going to come out. So let's grab this one. That's Oceans Deep. That's not going to do the job either. Yep, we're going to have to go with this. We're going. Oh, there's my other green. There's my other green. This is New Grass. Let's shake it up, open it up, and I'll run a line of green, a nice strong line of green right there. This is one of my favorite ways to use ink. I know it's just an abuse of the ink, but I like it. Watch this. I'll take my brayer. I'm going to wipe it off. I want to start fresh. I've got a good load on there though, so I hate to waste my ink, but I'm going to take my brayer and I'm going to go through both sections of color. There we go. So that my brayer has a good load of both colors on it. So when I go over these roses and these leaves, there's going to be a variegation of color. It's going to be indefinable. It's going to be unreplicatable specifically and exactly, only because the colors on it are never going to lay down twice the same way. Now you can't really see. Hey, honey, Scott's here. Thank you. My sweet husband came for my birthday. Coffee and Create. Now let me lay this down right over here. And there we go. Once I lay this down and impress the ink, you'll be able to see the variegation of the colors, and it'll all make sense. And I absolutely love to use more than one color when I stamp. It gives it such a personal and such an interesting finish. Can you see that? I'll take close-up pictures when we're done, and that way you'll know exactly what I mean when I show you how I've done this. Let's do it again. Let's get a good load of ink on the brayer, and let's roll this out. It doesn't matter what direction. There we go. And let's see, before I lay it down, let me look at the roses on this side. We don't have an oppositional rose, so I'm going to come across here. We'll use the basket of flowers in the center, and then I'll come across the back side even more. because I want a full, which way do we want this? Oh, you know, I could put them end to end right here, couldn't I? There we go. That's the way. End to end. That will make it very symmetrical, and I like that. Very balanced. And we'll do the same on the other side. Anchor it with one hand while you transfer your ink to your surface, and then swap out and do the same thing on the other side. Stamping is so much fun. It's so simple. This is a great project tool for the children, any ages, all summer long. This is a great way to entertain them, to give them some motor skill enhancement. You don't have to use the expensive inks. The children won't mind. Use something. Use paper. Use paper and make cards. Use paper and make gift wrap. The children just love doing projects. Now I'm going to richen my tomato up again. A little bit more ink right there. Don't run out of ink. If you run out of ink, you will not have a good load, and if you don't have a good load, you won't have a good impression. Without a good impression, you won't have a good finish. It's all connected. Here we go. All right, I'm gonna add a little bit more. There we go. See the difference? There we go. Add a little bit more of the tomato, and then we will run these right across here. Give it a little bit of a twist. Set it down, anchor it, and just tickle it a little bit. I want a nice impression, so I'm not just gently, I want a nice full impression. Swap sides and stamp it out again. Now I'm gonna have to move my work stuff. I love that. All right, we'll move this over here because we're gonna come in right here exactly like we did this, oppositionally, tips to tips. There we go. A little bit of green on there. All right, I'm running out of green, so, oh, there's some right there. There we go. There we go. Got my Bob Ross green. It's okay, we've got this. Run some in. Oh, there we go. Oh, I know what he's doing. He brought my chairs. I have some beautiful new chairs to play with. Come by and see me today and see what we have. And that bell means that he just brought them in the house. That's wonderful. All right, that's loaded up really nicely. So I'm going to peel it off. I'm going to hold it by the blank spots, and I'm going to make sure I've got it positioned right where I want it before I lay it down, because once I lay it down, I'm committed, just like the pig on the farm. The chickens are just hanging out. They're involved. That pig on the farm, he's committed to this. All right. Good impression. Another good impression. And gently lift and pull. I love this. Y'all know I love some roses. All right, we're gonna move this rose set to the side, and let's complete our look across that back. I want that basket of roses involved here. I sure do. Let's get that basket of roses in here. I'm gonna wipe this clean. I know I'm taking time to clean, but you know what? I take really good care of my stamps. I have a lot of Iron Orchid Design stamps in my toolkit, and that's why I need this giant workstation, because the more they come out with, the more I have, and the more I have, the more I want to play with them. But I have to take care of them. And this is how. You just wipe it clean. I can come back later and wash it some more, but it's that initial hit of getting that ink out of those grooves before it dries up in there. And I'm just really fussy about that. I love my tools and I like to take care of them. All right, that goes on that sheet. Let's get my basket of flowers out, y'all. I love this piece. Look, it's the most beautiful little basket of wildflowers and roses and greenery. Well, let's take advantage of that. All right, let's see. Let's put some garish in here this time. Let's see if this will come out. I'll take the lid off. A little bit of garish. We'll change up our color just a little bit. Oh, that's going to look good. All right, and then let's get this bottle out. This is a little different color than that new grass, and that new grass is pretty. It is, don't get me wrong, I like it. But let's see. All right. And now let's run our brayer through our colors because we've got a little bit different colors going on. Oh, look at that. Can you see those colors? Probably not because you're not here. You know, you can always come by and watch Coffee and Create right here with me. You're always welcome to do that. Look at that. Can you see it now? Look how bold that is. That is going to look beautiful. Let's put a little green right there on those edges. Oh, I'm excited about these flowers. All right, front and center, right under my rooster. We'll put this right here. And again, a normal person would probably measure and mark this. And then there's me. And I'm just going to put it on here and hold it to it. Make a good impression because I love that basket of flowers. That's so pretty. Look at the variegation of color in there. You grab another baby white. These are the Balm Diggity. Boom. Fresh baby white. Ink's all gone. Just like that. Poof. Nice and clean. Now, I've got my Craquelure. We'll set that to the side. So we've got that rose set in. We've got a beautiful stem right here. You see that beautiful stem right there? What do you think? Oh, you know what? That'll set, yep, that's the one right there. That'll set in there just perfectly. And it will go over both sides perfectly well. We'll move this over and we'll move this over. And we'll move that over. Oh, this is going to look amazing. Ready? Good load on the brayer. We've got a first generation and we've got another first generation. We've got the green, we've got the red. That just makes a beautiful finish. I love it. Got a little extra right there. Just wipe that off with my finger. Can you see the colors in there? Wait till I lay them down. All right, you ready? In we go. I'm gonna wipe my fingertips off because I got a little bit of ink and I don't want to touch the paint and put an ink blot somewhere I don't intend for it to be. Anchor it and just tamp it out a little bit. I want a good impression. Here we go. Stamping is so much fun. I love the end result when you do something like this, and I can't wait to put this on the other side. Look at my surround. The framework for my new workstation right here at Two Girls Treasure. If you come by, you can come look at it. I'll let you. Miss Sharon came in the other day and looked at it. She even brought my friend. And I was so glad to see your husband, Sharon. I'm glad he's doing well. All right, now we will lift this up and we'll lay it in. It's not going to go in the same because it's not oppositional. I can go this way. It'll be going the exact same direction. Maybe that's the thing to do. Here we go. All right. And we're in. Oof, just like that. Anchor it and impress it so your ink on the relief side goes onto your surface exactly like you want it. Don't wiggle, don't shift. And don't lift until you're ready to take it off. There we go. Ready? Shoo! Isn't that lovely? Oh, I'm so happy with the way that looks. Now, this is nice and rich and red and green, and we'll soften it with some glazing, a little bit of sanding to distress it. But don't worry, you know I'm going to be working on this bench, and you know as I work on this bench, I'm going to mess it up. I'm going to get other ink on it. I'm going to get other paint on it. I'm going to do things on top of this workbench that are not going to be conducive to this ink staying on here forever. And that's okay, because you know what will happen when that happens? We'll repaint it and we'll re-ink it with something else special. This is a great alternative to tattoos, y'all. Don't ink your skin, ink your furniture, just like that. And make it absolutely beautiful. I love the way this looks, and I hope you do too. It is 9:50 a.m. The train came by first thing, so we probably won't hear him come by anymore today. I'm going to play with this a little bit more, especially around my rooster and my chicks, because my hen and my chicks didn't come out exactly like I wanted them to, and he needs some laurel wreath around him because he's such a prominent figure in my life now. Get your La Campagna stamp set by shopping our Coffee and Create collection. Get a 10% discount when you use the coupon code SPRING. Every day in March, any of the products that we're using on Coffee and Create or on the Coffee and Create collection, you can save 10% when you purchase them through the website. Just go to the live shopping tab on our website, twogirlstreasure.com. Click that interactive mode and add everything to your cart. Just kidding. Add a few things to your cart. Add one thing to your cart. Add anything you'd like to play with and work with to your cart. And if you need some help, just re-watch the video. It'll be on Facebook and it'll be on our YouTube channel. I'm Diane Pruitt, your proprietor at Two Girls Treasure in Florence, South Carolina. We're open Tuesday through Saturday from 10 a.m. until 6 p.m. now. Springtime hours open till 6, and we'll be open till 6 for the rest of the year. I hope I get the chance to see you soon. Come by and say hello. Take a look at this French Country Springtime Fabulous cabinet painted in Rethunk Junk Grassland and Fresh Sage. Y'all have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for being here.